How do you drill into issues with your team? G'day. Are you seeking to be a high performance CEO or develop personal leadership and be a CEO in your own life? Then you've come to the right place because we discuss real experiences from CEOs for you to learn from. And so you don't miss out, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel and turn on all notifications. Let's get into it. As a CEO, you need to know when to drill deeply into an issue to what I call ground out the data, or you can allow it to go over the top. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the what, why, and how of that. It's really important to do this sometimes because it establishes a couple of very important things. One, you're signaling to your team that you are willing to go to the level of detail that's required. And two, that you teach them how to drill, how to bring the important data up to the executive level so you can make decisions. So by way of example, we had a client that told us that their circuit was production ready. And now it was skipped over and I could see that perhaps this was a big issue and I needed some more data. When and how you do that can depend on you, and I luckily have a lot of years doing this, so I kind of know when to do it. And I did it in this case and we found out that actually it wasn't production ready. And that has serious implications because if you're building off the top of something which is not production ready, you can't rely on that. And you may need to redesign that work. And it may have serious implications for the work that you're doing. So you could really undo a lot of work that you've done or have to redo and rework. It's costly, time consuming, expensive. And as a CEO, you need to be aware of the risks that you're taking with your team and with the technology or the products that you're implementing. So the next thing is, when do you do it? So there's a few red flags, I would say. One of them is when you're being presented something that is skipped over quite quickly. Sometimes when there's a lot of new vocabulary thrown in, or as a lot of engineers do, is they start what I call from the bottom up. So they're talking about the details, what resistor value they're using, and not linking that back to the overall approach to the problem. That can be deliberate, sometimes to confuse the management, to hide something because they feel that they'll be exposed. Other times it's just poor communication or not having an understanding of the audience that they're presenting to. So that's a lot of gut feel. How do you initiate the process? Well, there's formal ways you can do this. It's a program management skill or even a project management skill to know when to drill. And there are plenty of skills you can get, training courses you can do. For example, a PMP would be one, or being a Scrum Master, or some of those other techniques. There's many, many ways you can skill yourself up to do this kind of work. But I'm going to try and simplify it for this audience and say, well, it's really a case of just questions, drilling down and looking for data, right? So in the case of this circuit, which was not production ready, the first question is, okay, is it production ready? And then they might say, oh yeah, I think it is. So, okay, do you have a report or something that tells me that it is? Well, I think we've got one. Okay, can I see it? Well, I'll have to go and dig it up. Okay, so now that's an example of where there's been some deflection, attempts to deflect you, but you have to keep going and getting that data. A couple of days later, in that particular case, we found out that the circuit wasn't production ready, and in fact, the other vendor had specifically said that. So we now knew there was a new risk, and we could adapt our program accordingly. Had we not known that, we could have built a lot of circuit and other software and other features on top of that, and really had a bit of a mess to kind of redesign the work when we found that out. So it can save you a lot of time, energy, and money. So the simple approach is just to go down a path of questions and answers in a nice way. We say, you know, go hard on the issues and easy on the people. It's not about beating people up. It's about just seeking the data in a kind of relentless fashion. So I hope that helps. Thanks for watching.